Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
Oh, listen to this.
Venom returns. Bingo.
Eddie Brock, tell the world there's gonna be carnage. You bet your ass.
Even when I got kicked to the curb.
Venom, let there be carnage.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Adolf, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And today, Classic Jake is reviewing Venom, Let There Be Carnage, aka Venom 2. Now, before this review starts, I do want to say that I have not seen this movie. I plan to see it later today, and I'll be talking about my thoughts on the movie tomorrow, or whenever you're listening to the upcoming spoiler cast. So, let's go on to the movie. Now, we usually talk about the 3D first, and there's a big caveat for the 3D here. So what happened with the 3D? It's weird, right?
Yeah, they made a real stylistic choice that I think they should have promoted a little bit more. The first act is almost flat. It's also, the movie is almost in blues and greens. It goes all the way till they get to the scenes in Alcatraz, and then it goes really deep. We get pop outs, and then it also becomes brightly colored. It's a real strong. It's very similar to the choice in Infinity War and Endgame with the snap, but it's much more effective this time.
So we just want to give everyone a warning, because we don't want people to go into the managers, hey, what the hell is going on with this projector or whatever. It's part of the movie. So
yeah,
we want to give you that warning since Sony decided not to.
Yeah.
So you said the first act. So what, like 30 minutes in, or what? Or more, less?
20. I would say 25, 20, maybe 30. I doubt it's quite that. This movie is about 90-ish minutes long, so it moves at a really brisk pace.
So after this Alcatraz scene, which you won't really talk about, is the 3D's fine?
Oh, the 3D is great. It goes from looking like Clash of the Titans to boom, almost as good as Jungle Cruise.
There's definitely pop-outs and some good deep depth.
Yeah, there's a church scene that has some really great pop-outs. Yeah, and Andy Serkis takes full advantage of his experience with motion capture and stuff. Venom and Carnage have never been so lively of motion. They're incredible motion capture scenes of them.
Now, I always worried about it being dark because Venom is a black character in color, and a lot of times Venom movies and comics and stuff have been darkly lit. Is that a problem in this movie or not really?
Nope.
Okay.
This is lit beautifully. It is backlit beautifully, and Carnage being red was no problem either. In fact, Carnage is scary as hell in this, and awesome. I mean, the effects of the symbiotes or symbiotes, however you want to pronounce it, are top notch. Yeah, this is I personally feel this is a better movie than the first one.
All right, we'll get to the movie part in a minute, but I just wanted to mention that, get that out of the way so that way people know about the 3D, because you don't want people to be upset, and we want to give you that heads up. So, what is your overall grade, your thoughts on the 3D itself? What's your grade on that?
Oh, I'd give it great 3D, with the caveat, you got to wait for it, because they made a stylistic choice that works, but it's such a rare thing to do. I mean, it's like Wizard of Oz starting in black and white and then goes into color. I mean, it's one of those things.
Got it. Okay, cool. Now on to the movie itself. So, how was Venom 2?
Oh, it was a hoot and a blast. They doubled down on the stuff that worked in the first movie, the humor, and they ditched a lot of stuff. it runs. You don't have time to go, wait a minute, what's actually going on? This movie moves so fast, so brisk, and is so funny. It's by the time it's over, you'll have questions, but you really won't care.
Now, without directly comparing it to the original, do you say this is better than that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't need to have seen the first one to get this. Any information you need from the first movie, they offhandedly mention it in this. Most of the background characters from the first movie come back, and they have, ironically, this is a shorter movie, they have bigger parts and more to do. Because this is a very character-driven movie.
Okay, that's a very interesting aspect of the movie.
That's why I think it works so well. Because it's character-driven. It's not simply Venom versus Carnage fight.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you for adding that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is like 90 minutes, you say, or give or take?
Yeah, it's really short.
Okay.
For a superhero movie.
Woody Harrelson's great as Carnage?
Uh-huh. Yeah, he has a real vibe. Him and the character who plays his would-be girlfriend, Shriek. It's real natural-born killers kind of vibe. And they camp it up. Because they know, everybody is on the same page. They know exactly what movie they're in. This is all, that one scene in the first Venom movie where Tom Hardy gets in the tank and eats the lobster tails. This is what the whole movie's like that. On that same funny, twisted, and just full throttle.
Okay. Now, this is one of the rare movies, Venom the original, that I did not like, and that scene specifically turned me off. So I'm wondering if I'm going to like it or not, but I'll see later. So overall, what do you say? What do you grade the movie? What's your final verdict?
8 out of 10.
Okay. And is there a mid-credits or a post-credit scene?
Oh, yes, there is. And I won't say too much about it, except that
Is
you
it
might
worth it?
wonder why. Yeah, it's well worth waiting for.
Okay. That's all we want to know. Is it worth it?
I know, but you're not going to care because it's one of the best mid-credit scenes that have come out of the MCU or MCU adjacent.
Okay.
And it'll probably bring your audience to its feet screaming. It did mine.
Ultimately, worth watching the mid-credit scene. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, and there isn't an end of credit scene.
Okay, there's no post-credit.
Yeah, it's just that one scene.
Okay, because I know sometimes post-credit scenes and mid-credit scenes can be kind of, okay, that's a fun throwaway gag. Like the infamous Ant-Man and the Wasp with the ant playing the drums was like, really? I saw that in the trailer. I don't need to see this.
Yeah, they sort of switched the scenes.
Okay, cool. All right, so final verdict again, 8 out of 10, and the movie, you gave it a great 3D once the Alcatraz scene is done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a stylistic choice that works, but I still think people should have a heads up to know about it. All
right, cool. You'll get more information on Venom, Let There Be Carnage, when we talk about with the movie with spoilers. But that's going to be it for this spoiler-free podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D, Mr. Bengal 5, and Kevin Winter for your financial support on Patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.